Did you miss it? Here's another quick clip from the Gotta Be Country radio show that aired on SharkRadioNetwork.com.
And the measure of a man can best be found. Yeah, the measure of a man can best be found between Sundays. Between Sundays.
We are here at the benefit for St. Jude, and I am with DJ here. He has taken just a minute to sit down with me before they go on stage here at the Rose Bowl Lounge in Mason City. St. Jude's is putting on this benefit. They have a couple different artists here. Not too bad of a venue with being the Rose Bowl out here. You get 3 free games of bowling along with your donation. So tell me a little bit about your music and yourself and kind of how you got started.
Well, you know, I'm really big into country music. It's kind of been like a lifetime thing. I really grew up in it. My dad had a country rock band for about 30-some years, and so he was the lead singer and played rhythm guitar. And it was a big family band. My dad's one of 7 kids. And,
oh, wow.
6 boys and 1 girl, and one uncle played drums, one uncle played fiddle, and so on and so on. And so I really grew up in it, and, you know, I'd always go out on the road with Dad whenever I could. And I was actually a huge Garth Brooks fan right off the bat ever since I was about 2 years old. I'd watch his live TV concerts that he did on TV in the early 90s, and Dad would videotape them for me, and I'd watch them for hours and hours over and over. And that's really kind of how I got my start. You know, as a 2-year-old kid, I'd go with my dad to these shows and stand up on stage beside him, actually, in a little cowboy hat and boots and a little plastic baby blue toy guitar.
Sure.
And my mic stand was kind of unique, actually. It was a toilet plunger.
Oh.
Because it was just the right height for me. And,
yeah.
And they could just suction it right to the stage, and I would knock it over, and they duct taped a little plastic toy microphone onto the top of it. And that's pretty much kind of how I got my start. You know, I did the choir and the musicals and plays and all that stuff. And then after high school, went down to Nashville and played at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge for about a year down on Broadway.
Awesome.
And got my honky-tonk time in, I guess is what they call it. And,
Sure.
And then I got signed with my label, Evergreen Records, and you know, just got started writing with a lot of songwriters and getting the album together and hitting the road for radio tours. So,
cool.
You know, it's just been all just falling into place.
Awesome. So I'm sure in Nashville you get to meet quite a few different people. Do you have anybody that you were like totally starstruck by?
Well, you know, actually, when I was playing down in Tootsie's, I actually met Blake Shelton in one of the bars down in Broadway, and it was crazy for me to see him, you know, just in the bar, just sitting at the bar,
Sure.
you know, with some of his band. And I didn't get totally starstruck. I didn't freak out and make it awkward or nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I just kind of walked up to him and shook his hand and asked for one quick picture and let him have the rest of his night. But you know, just in my mind, you know, I'm thinking, holy crap, this is Blake Shelton just sitting here at the bar. And ever since then, it's just kind of, especially with me doing this career and
Sure.
kind of finding out how it is, you really kind of adapt and see the other side of it. And when you know, I've met a lot of other country artists now. Blake Shelton, Luke Bryan, you know, Eric Church, Van Perry, Trace Adkins. You know, I've played with a lot of these different players and hung out with them at CRS Country Radio Seminar. And it just gets to the point where we're all players in a game and just trying to do our best and play country music.
Oh, yeah. So is there something on the other end of country music that you wouldn't have guessed would be there that, you know?
You know, all the radio visits. I really had no idea. I mean, you know, from where I'm from, you know, we listen to one radio station.
Sure.
And they only put on like a few radio interviews every once in a while. And of course, they're always usually recorded from another radio station. But, you know, I didn't really know that they were actually radio tours, where the artist
Sure.
would actually go from radio station to radio station to radio station all across the country and do these interviews and just meet with them and sit in conference rooms with them and just talk to them and let them get to know that personality of the artist. So that kind of took me by surprise, but I turned out to love it. I mean, a lot of traveling and getting to meet new people and so it's been a lot of fun so far.
Cool. So overall, your travels and stuff, what state did you like the most?
You know, I've always been a big Texas fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Texas a couple times. Went down to Dallas Fort Worth and hung out in the stockyards in Fort Worth,
yes.
and I just fell in love with Texas right away. I mean, you know, I wear a cowboy hat a lot of times and boots all the time, and down there, you know, you don't feel out of place.
Not at all.
If you're
Not
wearing
at all.
cowboy
You almost
boots
feel out of place in a regular hat.
I know. You feel if you go down there in tennis shoes and baggy pants, man, they kind of look at you funny.
A little bit.
So I loved just the scenery. I mean, I love the ranches and the horses and all that stuff. I mean, it just kind of draws me in. So definitely Texas would probably be the at least the top 5 or so.
All right, that works. Well, I'll get into a little bit of different questions, offbeat questions. What's your favorite food on the road?
Favorite food on the road would probably have to be Subway.
Subway.
And I mean, I used to. It's tough on the road actually.
Sure.
I mean, you know, you're on the interstate a lot. So I mean, your main choices are fast food, and it's usually McDonald's or something like that.
Yeah.
And, I did the McDonald's for a while, and then I noticed that it was going to catch up with me. So I decided to kind of back off of that and quit getting the Big Macs. And so I definitely, whenever I see a Subway, I'm like, hey, you know, that's probably a more healthier choice.
That works. So have you been to any of those little diners, hole in the walls?
Oh yeah, we love checking out the new places. I mean, I've never been to. I saw a Taco John's here. I was actually in Nebraska a couple days ago playing for the university down there in Lincoln. And we saw Taco John's, and we never heard of Taco John's.
Oh.
So we definitely went there and checked it out. And we love just finding these little diners and these little bars and grills and stuff, and just going in and checking them out.
Cool, cool. So, okay, we're getting close to Halloween. So,
that's right.
Favorite horror flick?
Favorite horror flick? Oh, probably.
See, I told you might
probably
not have
to be
this
Scream.
One. Nice.
The Scream movie. Yeah.
Nice. The offbeat ones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I like the more traditional scary movies, the Jason and the you know, I'm not so much into the newer scary movies.
Yeah.
They're a little too cheesy for me. I'm more into the old traditional stuff. So
that works. That works. Okay, so a little bit more serious here. What's something that people who are just meeting you don't really know that you'd really like them to know about?
Well, you know, a lot of people just kind of look at me and see, you know, this country artist or something, and you know, it's actually really cool. I really like telling people that I'm a fireman. Oh. And you know, they kind of take a shock to it. They don't really picture me. You know, for one, I look like I'm 17. Well, I look
I'll
really
admit
that. But I'm actually 22.
Okay.
And I was really big into the firefighter scene as a young kid. Started about 15. Just helping out in the firehouse and becoming an adventurer. It was basically a volunteer. Cool. And you know, took fire science and Homeland Security and first response in high school, and got hired on a fire department when I turned 18. So cool. It's really cool to drop that line on them and see them say, what? Because, you know, they think of me like, I don't see you in firefighter gear and stuff like that. But it's pretty fun.
Cool. Well, I thank you very much for sitting down with me and being on Gotta Be Country Radio. So
I appreciate it very much.
Look forward to tonight.
Oh, we do too.
What a great show, being able to sit down with DJ and finding out a little bit more about what he's got going on. If you ever get the chance to see him in concert, it is a must-see. Tonight at the benefit, he was not only joined by his fiddle player and guitar player, along with him playing guitar also. It was quite an intimate show, with the stage being centered right in the middle of the bowling alley, so all of the fans could get up close and really enjoy the great performance. Keep listening here to hear part of the concert right here on Gotta Be Country, or bop on over to sharkradionetwork.com and you can see a couple of the different clips.
Here's a song about me and rocket Scientology, just a little something about birds and bees and sunshine. Making love on a summer night with nothing on but the pale moonlight. Well, we ain't perfect, but we get it right sometimes. All the wrongs completely gone every time we kiss. There ain't nothing on this earth can make me like this. Oh, sweet southern wind, I can feel the magic blowing. Dancing beneath the diamonds in the sky.
Thanks for watching. Want more? Listen in to the Gotta Be Country Radio Show with me, Britt, on your smartphones in the TuneIn Radio app under Shark Radio Network, or watch and listen on sharkradionetwork.com, Wednesday nights at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, and 7 on the West Coast. And don't forget to invite your friends to like us here on Facebook, too.